What's up everyone? My name is Magnolia and welcome back to my channel. Today we are building our custom large oak tree. Let's go. As usual, as we talk, I'll put our materials list up on screen. Today we are building this big oak tree. This is the skeleton of it. As you can see, there's lots of little branches, starting with these itty-bitty ones on the bottom, going up to these bigger ones, and then finally up to the top with the more vertical branches. This is what it looks like completed, and that is what we will be building. For those of you who are new here, the way we do this is we build from the bottom up. We put a grid in the top left-hand corner, and we follow it for each layer. The most important part of this grid is the little purple dot in the center, which does represent our trunk, the center of the tree, and where we will build around. So let's get going. For our first layer, we start with some oak, logs, or wood. Now you guys can use, like I said, the logs or the wood. I just like using the wood because I think it looks better. And then layer 2, we have some more oak wood. And those stairs will all be facing up and out. And then we have a trapdoor here. Layer 3, we have another oak wood with some trapdoors, some stairs, and the first of our leaves. Now, if you are new here, we do use birch leaves for the interior of our tree because it creates a lot of shadow. If you come over here to this tree, you can see that these birch leaves right in the center create shadow as opposed to these oak leaves, which look like they're being hit by the sun. And that is layer 3 done. Layer 4, we start building some of our branches, so we'll start on that middle block again, and then we'll move on to those branches. Just like that. And now we will start placing our leaves. I like starting with the birch leaves. That's just how my brain works here. But you can do whatever you would like. As usual, my video is designed to be listened to with the sound off, so if you do want to turn on those subtitles, feel free. And I forgot to add a trapdoor right here. That is layer 4, done. Layer 5, we have some oak wood, and we're starting a thicker branch here with a mud brick wall, and continuing that out with a fence gate and a fence. And then we also have a trapdoor right here to create some of that variation to the trunk. And now we'll get cracking on our leaves. Perfect, and that is layer 5 complete. This tree does have 19 layers, and now we're starting on layer 6. We again start with that oak, wood, or log right in the center, and move on to some more branches. At the end of this video, I do have a couple of announcements, and they are a little bit different from our last video, so if you'd stick around, that would mean a lot to me. And we'll keep building out our leaves. That, I believe, is layer 6 done. Layer 7, we again start with that wood right in the center and create a little bit of variation to the trunk, and then also keep working on our branches. Now right here we do have a branch that is splitting off a little bit. As you can see, these don't connect. So we have one branch going up and over, and one branch going up and up. That same thing is happening right over here, and this branch is also coming up just a little bit on the end. And then we'll do our leaves. That is layer 7 complete. Layer 8, we'll place another oak wood and 2 mud brick walls for yet again more branches. And we'll continue those with some spruce fence gates and some regular spruce fences. We'll continue our branches out here and over here. And then we will place our leaves. Now, like I've said before, if you guys don't like what I'm doing, feel free to switch it up. What I'm doing here is just providing you a base to work from for your trees. If you want to copy it exactly, great, go for it. That's awesome. And if you'd like to switch it up, great. That is also amazing. What matters is that you're enjoying yourself. It's a video game. That's kind of the point. Boom. Layer 8 complete. I believe that marks our halfway point. And now moving on to layer 9. Just keep building on these branches here and here, and of course, way over here. Just like that. And then adding our leaves. That is layer 9 done. As you can see, we're getting some of that good rounding to our branches. Just like over here, we can see these branches create a very round shape, because that is a very natural look, as opposed to our little naturally generated oak tree over here. These have some space, they have some light filtering through them, and they just kind of look a little more alive. And if you're someone who is updating to 1.21.5, I believe these should have the falling leaves effects, just like the pale oak does, so it will look even more alive. Very exciting stuff. All right, moving on to layer 10. We will continue building, you guessed it, more branches. just like that. And we will have some leaves. Perfect. Layer 10, done. Layer 11, we're working a little more on these left and right branches with some mud brick walls. And again, more of our fence gates and fences. Just like that. And now we will start working on our leaves. I also am using a couple mods in this video, including one that creates that zoom function without having to get Optifine, and one that when I fly, I stop immediately when I release the key instead of drifting a little bit, like in the normal Java edition. So I'll throw those mods right in the comment section for you. And perfect, that is layer 11 done. Layer 12, we're starting with our oak wood in the middle, as usual, and continuing some work on these branches. We have a diagonal branch starting over here, just like that, and now it's time to work on our leaves. Boom, layer 12 done. Layer 13, another oak, wood, and some more branches. We're getting very close to the end now. And we have some leaves to work with here. That's layer 13 complete. Layer 14, we are now slimming out this trunk right here where we started with this big, thick, 3-ish block wide trunk. We've narrowed it up to 1, and now we're at half a block or however big this wall is. And we're finishing out most of our branches. And now for our leaves. Perfect. That's layer 14 done. Layer 15, we're keeping this mud brick wall going and finishing off this branch right here and here. And then adding our leaves. Perfect. Layer 15 done. And now, layer 16, we're thinning out this mud brick wall into a spruce fence. I believe that's just 1/4 of a block wide. We're topping off this branch here, and we're adding our leaves. As we approach the top, we do just have more oak leaves instead of birch leaves because the sun would be hitting them more at the top than at the bottom. Perfect. That is layer 16 complete. Layer 17, another spruce fence, and some more oak leaves. Just like that. And layer 18, a spruce fence, some more oak leaves. And layer 19 is just an oak leaf right here. That is our big oak tree. I think it looks quite nice. I think it would look good in a forest. I think all these would look good in a forest, but I do think that this one is the most foresty of the lot. This one looks like it goes in a park. That one is just a little urban tree. This one is meant to look like a natural growth oak tree. Beautiful. Alright gang, I have just a few things to share with you guys. If you'd stick around, that would mean a lot. Should only take just a couple of minutes. First of all, I need your tree suggestions. In our small oak video, we did go over the fact that I don't really have any ideas of what tree to build next, so it's up to you guys. Tell me what you would like to see next. It can be an in-game tree, like a cherry tree, just custom, or it can be a tree that doesn't exist in the game, like a cypress tree or a weeping willow tree, which we kind of did with the pale oak. But if you'd like to see a more naturally colored weeping willow, I can try that out. Just give me your suggestions. I'd love to build what you guys are interested in. Next, about the 1.21.5 update. I will not be updating to that until the mods that I use catch up with that. That includes the zoom mod, along with a few others. If you want to get a good look at what I use, feel free to go to my medium oak tree video and look into the description. I used a couple more mods in that video than I normally do, but that is why I'm not updating to 1.21.5 quite yet. Third, I did open up a Ko-fi. This is where you can go and just tip me a couple bucks if you'd like. It would mean a lot to me, and the link is in the description down below. Now, I have had a couple of comments asking for both Litematica downloads and world downloads for this world. For the world download, I'm going to wait till I'm done with my tree building series to put it up, but for the Litematica downloads, I have very exciting news. I have opened a Patreon. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Patreon is a website where creators can put out bonus content that you guys pay just a few bucks a month for. My one and only paid tier is just $2 a month, and you can download both the graphs in full resolution and the Litematica downloads for every tree I have done so far. If you subscribe to my Patreon, you will likely get the graphs and the Litematica schemes before the video has come out, just because I do upload those when I am done with them, and I would love to see you guys there. Alright, and for our very last announcement, I am taking a brief break. April is an extremely busy month for me, and it just times out really well with me needing your guys' suggestions for trees. And so I'm taking a 3 to 4 week break. I'll be back in May, either the first or second week in May. I do upload on Wednesdays, so I will be back either the 7th or the 14th of next month. Thank you for sticking around and listening to my announcements. I love you guys to death. Have a fantastic couple weeks. And, as usual, if you liked the comment, please hit that like button. If you have comments or questions or concerns, please leave those in the comment section, especially your tree requests. And if you'd like to subscribe, please do subscribe. See you next time. Bye!